Welcome to another live stream. We are live. What a crazy day. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got my tickets tonight, so they're already used, but I do have my tickets tonight to the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum. We're going to talk later on about my trip to Nashville, my very first ever time to Nashville. I have my souvenir here, a coaster, and really don't want to put my drinks on it tonight. I have some iced tea. It's kind of sweaty, and I don't want to ruin this, but really enjoying talking about these two trips. This isn't what our main topic is tonight, but thank you so much for joining me, and we'll do that later in tonight's live stream, so I hope that you will stay tuned. I have about a 9.5-minute trolley ride plus some footage inside the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum, so I hope you'll stay for that. Hopefully I won't get flagged. I did my best job editing that trolley ride. So we have some people here already in the chat. Let me know if it's sounding good. The audio looks okay. Let's raise my volume up there. Let's try my lapel mic. It's a little hotter than my SM7B, but I think that'll do. Let me know if that's loud enough, if you have a good picture. But we're here in the studio. I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios, and I want to thank those of you that are getting me closer to 4,000 subscribers. I think I'm at 4,906 or 7. I can't quite remember, but you guys will let me know. So it's growing slow right now. I've been on vacation. I missed a couple live streams, plus I had my ankle break. So my channel's not growing as fast as it normally does, but I think we have a good topic tonight. There are some announcements. Amsterdam, they just had IBC 2025. It ended yesterday. I don't know if you're aware of that. Obviously, NAB is here in the United States, usually in Las Vegas, and that's usually what we talk about. But IBC 2025 just happened. There's always some interesting announcements there, and so I have all of that in the description below, some links down there, and it's been, as you guys well know, it's been a crazy week. We're going to say hi, first of all, in the chat tonight, just to say hello to those of you guys that got the early seats. So let me fix Skycam here, and let's put chat, let's see, chat on the air, and let's go back and see what we have here. Grish seems to always get that first seat. Second was Tony. Tony jumped into seat number 2. And so I appreciate Tony has already smashed the like button. I really appreciate that. Obviously, we are on YouTube, and you might be watching this live, or you might have watched it after it was live. The likes that we get are going to drive the algorithm. So if there's anybody else out there that is going to watch this, it's going to take your guys' likes or the topic. And obviously, Google has their little bots that look at my video description and all my keywords and the topic, the title, and they make decisions based on this channel's popularity. We all know that. And if you don't, that's kind of how it works. And the like buttons really help. Sharing helps as well. So I much appreciate that. Also, it is really good to have David Osler in the house, and I love that your channel's back to your name. David's from Australia, is a great guy, has a great heart for photography, and has been here for a while. Tony says our audio is 5x5. I don't know what I just did here. 5x5. So I appreciate that. Also, I have, as we say hello to people that pop in the chat, want to get into the topic tonight, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But I do have a poll up tonight. I hope you'll help me with it. It's part of tonight's main topic. I sometimes the things that I want to do have to take a back seat to things I need to do. And I really kind of saw these announcements, the new iPhone 17 Lots of talk about this, some major changes in some of the models. The new iPhone Air is kind of an interesting, really thin iPhone. I did some research on it the last 2 or 3 days. I have to be honest with you. I've tried to be resting these last 3 weeks as I was on vacation, and then we came back from vacation, and I'm slowly getting back into the gear of live streaming and doing videos, and I'm gonna do that. So I have an iPhone 13 Pro, so it's well timed for me to update. I could go update to the 16. I wasn't super impressed with the 16s for a number of reasons. I think I talked about here on my channel. They were doing some interesting things with what they were saying as far as the megabit pixel level that they were saying. So thank you, Tony, for that update. Grish says iPhone Air, meh. That's probably pretty good. So, you know, their number one selling laptop right now is the MacBook Air, according to what the guys that I watch online. And so you can do your own research and check me to see if I'm correct. But that has been growing like crazy. So I had some plans to do some videos last week. I needed to edit my Nashville trolley ride and a few clips that I had from the museum. I have some favorite photographs I brought back. I'll be sharing some of those photographs I did tonight in the intro reel. I'll share some of those photographs later. But we had a great time, and we'll talk about the Nashville thing in a bit. But not only was there an announcement for the new iPhone 17, I guess right now people are, a few people on social media are getting them to review them, as well as the pre-orders are available. That's always kind of crazy. iPhones obviously come out every year. Always, it seems there's an announcement from Apple in the fall. And maybe you're not an iPhone fan. I'm not necessarily leaning towards iPhone over other mobile phones. I just have been using iPhone for a long time. But tonight we're going to talk about it. As the poll says tonight, the question is, do you think the iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit as a viable video production tool? So again, do you think the iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit, obviously Blackmagic Design's pursuit, as a viable video production tool? Now, I'm sure that each of you will have an opinion. We have 5 votes right now, 100% yes so far. So we're going to see how that poll goes tonight as people pop in. And I'm looking at the comments. I should become an affiliate. Well, I'm an affiliate with Amazon associate, so I do occasionally put links from my Amazon account into the descriptions below. And then obviously when you use those, there's a disclosure there to tell you that you get to pay the same, but it does support the channel, and you have to do that as a Amazon affiliate. But it would be great to be an affiliate with some of these companies, especially if I got paid. But again, my whole goal with this channel, and I think I've talked about this many times, is I went through a struggling time to get all the technology together. I put the Rodecaster Pro, my second one, up on the shelf behind me. I'll put Skycam on that in a little bit. I have a Rodecaster Pro 2 on my desk. I use Rode devices. I use Stream Decks. I have ATEMs, 2 Extremes, 1 ATEM Mini Pro. They're extreme ISOs. I'm getting ready, I think, really close to finalizing my decision to order the Rodecaster Video. If the new Yellow Box Extreme was not $2,000, I may be leaning that way. But I also am trying to figure out where my clients are going to be going, which is hard to predict the future, as you all well know, because again, I can train on those devices if I own them. I can't train if I can't. So the channel's always been about helping people with live streaming tech. Obviously, you can go to Tony's channel. You can go to David's channel on photography. You can go to Tony's channel about networking. You can go to Jay's channel. He's in broadcasting. There are so many channels that show up on a regular basis. And those guys, like you guys, you are the pros in those areas. I do know photography, but I've never really focused on professional photography. I've always used it as part of the social media world, headshots for businesses, social media pictures, lifestyle shots. I can do portrait photography. It's not my passion. I would prefer on my days off to do landscaping photography. I do love architectural photography. I really wish I had taken my camera to Nashville and the Chattanooga, but Shannon doesn't like to hang out with me all day long as I'm being a photographer. So I'm trying to be husband and spouse when we travel more often. And so I left those cameras at home, but I did take my iPhone. So let's just finish here in the chat. Let's see. Looking to getting an iPhone Pro in October, Tony says, then maybe I'll get the Camera ProDock. Depends on how well you see me, you sell me on it tonight. Yeah, and I'm not really going to try to sell anybody on the new ProDock. We're going to talk about it. It makes a lot of sense for a number of reasons. We're going to chat about that here in a second. So David says the camera update of the 17 Pro is very impressive. Yeah, it is. Chris says I still have the 13 Pro Max. Mine's just the regular Pro. It's not the Pro Max, but I would not compromise on 3 cameras. And they are approved in the new 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max. The new iPhone Air only has 1 camera, which is really interesting. They have done a lot of good upgrades, including a chip upgrade to the new entry-level iPhone. So it's quite an interesting device. So more and more families are buying the Pros, Pro Maxes, and then iPhones, the regular iPhones for their kids, to stay in touch with them, to stay in contact. That's kind of the world that we live in today. And you can also download apps to track your kids. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here as well. Oh, thank you. I'll hit record. I had some trouble recording last week, and evidently it was because my file name was not correct. I must have put a period or something weird in it, but that's why I could not record. So we are recording ISO tracks tonight. Thank you, Tony, for reminding me of that. I've never been impressed with the YOLO box stuff. Good concept, though. Grish, yeah. Yeah, and Aaron Parecki has done a lot with the Rodecaster video. He's done a lot with the YOLO boxes. I think they have pursued him, and there's a lot of those guys that have a lot more subscribers, a lot more influence than I have. Their approach is a little bit different to their channels because, again, I am really just trying to continue helping people. I get majority of my clients from my channel, live streaming and doing my videos, my training videos. So if I had my way and I had unlimited funds, I would get the YOLO Box Extreme because of the multiple channels available in it. Plus you can do 5 4K on it, I believe 5. And so that's pretty cool because you could then use the YOLO Box Extreme to, and I don't think I've really talked that much about it on the channel, but you could use that to then stream 4K. I'm a ways from 4K, but I do have 2 EOS R cameras now. They both will let 4K come out of the HDMI out. My Canon 5D Mark IV, which is right here. Let's see, that's camera 3, I believe. And I like this shot because it shoots my desk. Obviously, the lighting's not right for the shot. And it looks like it's blurry, like it's not focusing right now. So not sure what's going on. Wake up, Canon 5D Mark IV. So that camera does not do 4K out. It will record 4K internally, but it will not record 4K out outside of it. So the HDMI does not output 4K. It does 1080p, but it doesn't do 4K. And then now some of the newer cameras are outputting really high resolution 4K. I think there's some of them now that you can get 6K out of the USB-C ports, because USB-C, I think, can more than carry, obviously, 4K. So it makes a big difference. Fun to be here from the start. Been a while. Yes, well, Tony, it is really good to have you here from the very start. So tonight we're going to talk about an announcement from Blackmagic, and let me go to me and my desktop here, my laptop. We're going to take chat for right now off the air. So Blackmagic made this announcement. I will put the link to this. Let's go to latest news here. There we go. Let me copy this link and I'll put this in the chat right now. Just don't go right this minute, but it'll be in the chat. So that's their media page, and you could go to the latest news, you could go to news archives, and you could go to press images. So I did download some of these TIFF press images, converted them to PNG 1080p images, and we're going to look at those here just shortly. But for right now, I want to focus on this page. This new device by Blackmagic Design is called the Blackmagic Camera ProDock. So Blackmagic Camera ProDock. Now, many of you know, and perhaps you have downloaded it, that there is the new Blackmagic Design camera app. It's telling me what the new features are. So I haven't opened it up so we could talk about this. So this is a Blackmagic Camera App 3.0, and there's some upgrades on this. So we'll get back to that. But if you don't have the Blackmagic Camera app, it's available for iOS and I think Google Pixel phone, I think Chrome phones, whatever they are. I don't own one, so I don't know the terminology. But again, the camera app, you can sync with the cloud. You can do a lot of things with your phone. And this dock is designed to help you use your phone, starting with, and I think you can use it on all of the iPhones, but some of the new features are going to be specific to the new i17 Pro. Obviously, it's cool that Blackmagic Design has been communicating with Apple, that they have now developed a relationship. I'm sure this app, the Blackmagic Camera app, which is free for you to download on your phone, I'm sure that has made some influence on Apple because, again, you can do clean HDMI out. It turns your phone into a really high-tech production camera because you have so many features, and maybe one of these nights we'll dive in to the camera app again after I get my new iPhone 17 Pro when I pull the trigger on that. So the channel has always been to try to help discover what's new, what could be used. And a lot of my clients I'm trying to convince to just stream with their iPhones and do video production with their iPhone because they already own one. Rather than buying a $2,000 or $3,000 camera, iPhones are not inexpensive. If you buy the Pros, they're usually over $1,000. The Max are even higher than that. The new iPhone 17 Pro, I think, is $1,100, and I think you're almost $1,200 if you're going to buy the new iPhone 17 Pro Max. And so they have specific chips in them. They have the ability to do some really cool things. And so, again, the iPhone then with the USB-C port using this device is quite interesting. So, so here's the announcements. I just wanted to cover these really quickly. On September 10th, Blackmagic Design announces support for Apple ProRes RAW. So that's interesting. So obviously, if you have an iPhone, you can shoot ProRes and you can shoot RAW. And now you can actually edit RAW. There's still some bugs. You can watch some videos on YouTube that are already out there, but it's not been something available in Davinci Resolve. Now, I have Davinci Resolve. I've used it. I'm an Adobe Cloud subscriber. I have all of their apps. I think my bill now is in the studio somewhere. I think with tax now, I'm paying $76 a month for my subscription, but I use every week Photoshop. I use Adobe Illustrator. I use Lightroom. I use Adobe Premiere. I use After Effects. I'm sure there's other programs I'm using on a regular basis. And so for me right now, that monthly investment is okay. I think I can do yearly and save some money. And I think I can whine and complain a little bit, even with the AI, and possibly get a discount if I talk about ending my subscription. But that's become even more difficult for people to get Adobe to give them a discount. When I started, I think I was paying $39 a month. When I had my discount, it was $33. But they have RAW available now for the iPhone as well as Davinci Resolve. And that's going to be a big deal for a lot of people that just love that codec. And again, those are codecs. That's what you can get from your camera. So obviously you have the H.264, you have QuickTime, which is the Apple ProRes kind of family. You can have ProRes Lite, you can have ProRes RAW. And so being able to edit Apple ProRes RAW is a big deal. Blackmagic Design announced the Davinci Resolve 20.1. That was August. I have since then downloaded Davinci Resolve 20.1, and there's some really good features on there. A lot of you guys use Davinci Resolve, so I won't try to tickle your ears with my great knowledge with Davinci, but I will say this, it is a great tool, and you can get the free version, and for not that much money, you can get the studio version. I believe it's called, I think it's like $295, and sometimes you can get it free if you buy a device. So I know they're one of their editors, I think their color editing device used to come with a free copy of that. So again, and there's always been some little minor limits between those two versions of Adobe, obviously, because they want you to buy the Pro version, but most people can get by with the regular free version of Davinci Resolve. So if you haven't tried that, try that. If you haven't tried the Blackmagic Camera app, try that. It's free. And then obviously the cloud accounts and all that have to be set up, but you could sync Adobe Davinci Resolve with your phone, and everything could go to the cloud, and you could easily use your phone. Actually, you can use multiple phones now with the new camera app update version 3.0. You can actually now control other cameras with Davinci Resolve. I mean, with the camera app on it. It's pretty crazy, the technology that's been happening around us. But so RAW is available. Davinci Resolve update, the camera update to 3.0. Those are three things. Plus now Blackmagic Design has announced the Blackmagic Camera Dock. And so let's just back out of this page. Well, let me just do this real quick. So press release on Davinci Resolve 20.1. Major update adds support to edit, grade at VFX. Mixed spatial audio, deliver Apple immersive video for Apple Vision Pro. So it's a big Apple Vision Pro update. There are other updates that came out just prior to that, so you can go and explore those. And then RAW, it says Davinci Resolve 20.2 and Blackmagic Camera 9.8 public beta, which adds support for Apple ProRes. So you're going to need the Camera 9.1 public beta, and you're going to need 20.2 Davinci Resolve. I think I downloaded 20.1, so I think you still have to dive into the beta versions. I'm not quite sure, but again, all of these are available, and I put the link to this latest news page in the background. And so then there were updates in April, and obviously back when we were getting all the updates from Blackmagic Design and NAB, but they do some announcements usually every year, and sometimes new product releases at IBC in Amsterdam. And so that, again, just ended. It was over the weekend and Monday. I know John Barker was there. I have a video link in the description below as they toured the floor. So you can go check out IBC 2025 videos. I didn't even put IBC on my still image tonight. I didn't even put that information because I didn't really want to talk about IBC. I just wanted to talk about these announcements. So let's dive in to the Blackmagic Design Camera ProDock. So we're going to go to products on their page, and then let's see, home. And there's their kind of first page. You see, says Blackmagic Camera ProDock, new dock adds professional camera connections to the iPhone 17, including Genlock, time code, HDMI out, audio, that's audio in and out. We're going to look at the pictures here in a second. and external disc recording and more. So this device is designed to mount your iPhone to. It has a 1/4-20 adapter on the top, or a mount on the top. You can see it in this picture, so you can take a small rig mount and mount it to it. You can then power that dock. You can do, again, time code, gen lock. You can do HDMI out, so you can have a bigger monitor. And you can now use your iPhone 17 Pro or 17 Pro Max as a video production tool. And as I said earlier, I do have a poll up tonight asking this question: do you think the iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit as a viable video production tool? And now it's 83% of you say yes. You think it's a legit pursuit for viable pursuit for Blackmagic Design to be going after devices to plug into iPhones to give us more ability to use them as more of a professional video device. But again, 17% of you say no. So again, and this is your opinion. So good to have you, Dewey. iPhone 4S was my last iPhone, never again. Yeah, if you have a bad experience, obviously, yeah, that's your trauma. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I have my trauma, right? One of my favorite stories that I tell about personal trauma was when I was a teenager. We were supposed to go to Disneyland. I got sick with the flu right after eating a brand new batch of chocolate chip cookies. My wife, even after we were married, could not get me to eat chocolate chip cookies. I do now. It took me a while to get over that, but I literally had a phobia. I thought chocolate chip cookies equal Ralph in the bathroom, worshiping the porcelain god, if you know what I'm talking about. So again, everybody has their experiences, and obviously that's how our experiences are how we make our choices and our decisions. And I just hope that you don't have any false phobia, because chocolate chips cookies weren't what caused the flu. I just caught it and got super sick and did not get to go to Disneyland, which broke my little heart. So just updated to Davinci Resolve 20.2 today. Cool. That's good to know. The P20 Pro is great. Grish says apps quality kind of sucks on Android for camera apps. Yeah, I have heard some negative things about, again, the camera app from Blackmagic Design. Apple exposes proper API. Android has too many manufacturers and cameras for developers to deal with. Yeah, the one thing that iPhone and Apple has for it is they control the development and all the stuff that goes in there. And as they update their chips, there's more and more things you can do with an iPhone. And again, I think the technology and all the other manufacturers have some benefits, some detriments, but it is really difficult to write apps. Like, for instance, Mix Effect, which is one of my absolute favorite apps on an iPad. You can also run Mix Effect on your iPhone. Adam Tao designed that to run the ATEM, so I can remotely control my ATEM from my iPhone or on my iPad, and I do that like I'm changing my macros on Mix Effect right now, so I can go back to me in a laptop, and these are all macros that I can control from my iPad. So I like a lot of things that are available for phones. Again, that app, Mix Effect, Adam Tao doesn't design on those other devices. So, and he did this design of Mix Effect because he was using a ATEM Mini Pro, I believe, and he wanted to be able to have more control. The buttons are very limited. He was having to use the control software, which I use in every live event. So as I'm live, I'm using Mix Effects to control some things, but I'm also going into the control software you see on my screen, and I'm live right now from the control software. You can see what things are live, what I'm using. I could even show you, I didn't mean to pop that off the screen here, but let's go back. I could even show you Super source, and you can see box 1 is enabled, box 2 is enabled, box 3 is not, and box 4 is not. And like I said, if I brought box 4 on, you can see box 4 is in the background and it's covering the whole screen. And if I turn box 3 on, you can see it's down there on the bottom, and I can size that. So again, a lot of times I'm controlling things in my live stream using the software, but there's some tools inside MixEffect that make it so much easier. So if I want a 3-box layout, I can just hit these buttons and can be flying around the screen. Personally, I like my macro. So we'll go back to switcher view and we'll go back to me and my laptop. I like this layout the best, but I do use the control software all along. And so that app is designed for iOS, but it's not designed for Android. So, okay. What I want to do now is let's go and look at this device. We'll use the pictures on their site. I will put this link in the chat right now. If you want to copy it and keep me live, and if you have a way to go there at the same time, if I can get this in the chat. So there is the link in the chat, but as you go through here, you can see that it has the mount on the top. You have audio in and audio out. You've got gen lock with time code there. Those are BNC connectors. You have an HDMI out, so now you can use it as a monitor. Now, we all know that I can plug this little device into my my iPhone. Now, I have a lightning port, so I have to have the lightning adapter, but I can go lightning to HDMI, and I can get a monitor. I can take the clean out and put it on a monitor, but this is just going to make it rack mountable or tripod mountable, and it's going to make it a lot quicker and easier for you to use it, to hook a disc up to it. And then as we go from right to left, you have 3 USB-C ports. You have USB 2.0, USB 3.2, and USB 3.2, so 2 of those, and then you have a power adapter. And then if we scroll down here, I think there is a picture of it. Here is a hard drive plugged in, actually 2 hard drives plugged into it. Here is the USB-C cable built into it in the back, and you can see on this page, it tells you what each of those items are, so I'll leave that up here on the screen. So it takes you through and says 3.5 stereo input for external or wireless mics, plus audio out for headphones. So you can have a set of headphones, and you can also have a wireless microphone like the Wireless Go 2 plugged in, right? And so here is the receiver. And so you could attach this to that mount, your cage, and then this could be receiving the transmission, which I have the transmitter on tonight. So if I do get up or go around the studio, we still have the ability to do that. Now I'm using the Rodecaster Pro 2, and it has the ability to hook up 2 transmitters to it without the receiver, which is one of my favorite things about the Rodecaster Pro, the Rodecaster Pro Duo, as well as Rodecaster Video. You can hook up up to 2 of these devices. Let's see if I've got this all mixed up. So I have 1 on and 2 in the case. Again, this is the Wireless Go 2. It doesn't come with a case. I had to order the case, but I have this kit and I use it all the time. So the power is 12 volt, and it says iPhone and USB-C accessories, so you could power it. You have a standard USB-C port, which is the first one after the HDMI. And then you have the 2 USB-C 3.2 ports. Those are the fast ports. And if we go back up here to the picture, you can see the 2 hard drives are plugged in to the 2 ports. So you have that speed. So obviously the challenge with iPhones, even though they've increased the memory, even on the new basic iPhone 17, So I think it comes with 256 gigabytes, if I remember right, which is a update. And so the chip has been updated. I think the screen is faster. The screen is wider, so you have more real estate. And it's pretty amazing. But again, these new features and this new device is designed for the Pro version. So the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Okay, so let's just take a break here. Trying to do a better job. Good to have you, Jurish. Thanks for joining us. iOS 26 for Apple, more fun and bugs. Yeah, always getting bugs. Chris says, I think Mac not has the new Mac OS version. I will be updating soon. So I do not own a Mac, but I did. I had the Mac cheese grater, cost me $6,000. I had that in my recording studio. That's the last Mac I've owned, but I do have the new iPad Pro 13-inch, or my wife owns it, and I get to use it all the time. So I have that. I have an older version 6 iPad. I have the iPhone 13 Pro. So I've had lots of iOS devices, and I can't operate a Mac, and I help clients occasionally figure things out on their Mac as I do consulting from the studio. So, so again, you have Genlock and timecode, BNC connectors, and then you have the ability to mount this. You can see the mount on the top. And then you have the localized in 9 popular languages, and that's talking about the app and working alongside that device. So, and then you're going to do your editing in Davinci Resolve. But here you can see a monitor plugged in, and they have their kit there. They're doing video production from an iPhone on a small rig. And you can see the handles on the rig. It's just a bigger version of this. You can see it. I wish they hadn't cut off their picture. That's a great close-up of that layout. And they're using the Blackmagic Design Camera app, using the new Blackmagic dock. And that's really cool that you could have a monitor in the studio. And again, obviously they're showing off their larger Blackmagic Design monitors. And you can also see that he's got a focus pulling device. I believe that's small rigs, Bluetooth focus puller. So you can remote control focus as well, which is really cool. So one of the things that I wanted to chat a little bit about tonight and get your feedback is, have you, and the poll's up right now, do you think the iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit as a viable video production tool? Do you produce any videos with your iPhone? If you do produce videos or do B-roll for your channel, or if you've edited videos on your phone or on your iPad using the camera on your iPad or your iPhone, let me know in the chat. I would love to know if you have done that. I have done hundreds upon hundreds of hours of video on my older iPhones. I think I started with my 13, maybe my iPhone 12 as a content creator. It became a lot easier for me to travel on airplanes and just take a DJI mic kit, which I don't think I have right here in the studio. Somewhere it is. And then now I would probably take my Wireless Go 2, and I would take stands, and I would take filters. I have a filter kit for my iPhone. I have a case that actually goes on my iPhone. It's not on there now. This is the protecting case, Otter protecting case. But I do have a adapter that goes on, and then I have filters. I have polarizing filter. I have different ND filters. I even have a variable ND filter. So I have done hundreds of hours of shooting with my iPhone. So this device should help with that, though I do a lot less video now. I did a lot before I resigned my content job. I did a contract for a year or so when I was live streaming here on the channel. But as of right now, I am not doing a lot of video production. Occasionally I'll shoot B-roll for one of my videos with this. I've used it in the studio. So there are videos on my channel where I'm showing the studio off with my iPhone, my studio tour video here on my channel. I'm using my iPhone as a remote camera. And there are apps that will let you use it untethered. I always keep this available so I could bring my iPhone into my live streams. And so we're going to bring it on tonight. So let's see, do I have a way to bring this in? Let me first of all make some changes in my software here. Go to my other extreme ISO. And I have it in channel 3. So let's bring up channel output 2. It should be channel 3. Channel 3. For some reason, it is not working. Let me try my app here. Please stand by. Okay, let's pull something. I've had this happen before. Let's see if I can correct it now without having to reboot my other ATEM live. Interesting. So let's see, do I have an option to bring it in directly here? Yeah, let me steal camera 2 real quickly. See, I'm in camera 2. One. Or normally have these technical difficulties, but tonight we are. So let me go back to this app here. So I can't bring this on the screen, so my clean won't bring in the changes on this, but I did want to talk about, it says remote clip syncing is now available. So automatically sync recorded clips from remote cameras to a remote controller. So basically you could have multiple cameras now with this new camera version, Blackmagic Camera App 3.0, and then you could sync the video. So if you were shooting on one camera, I was shooting on another camera, it could be synced with whoever's doing the controlling. New creative LUTs are built in. Enhanced lens control is built in. Smarter tools, quick access to presets, time-lapse options, and the torch light directly from the heads-up display. So it's just faster and more intuitive for popping in to some of those really important features, like being able to turn the torch up and down, which is the light on your iPhone. They have 3 new custom function buttons that you can just tap 3 dots on the right-hand side of the screen and then bring those over and enable histograms. So let's go ahead and hit continue. And now I have the Blackmagic camera up on the display here. So let me go in here and change it to not clean out. Let me find that setting. So many options on this app now. See if I can find it. bring it up on the screen so you guys are seeing the same thing. Let's go, me and my laptop, and let's go back into my main ATEM and change what's in the big box. Super source box 2, let's go camera 1. There we go. So I have a portrait because I'm playing with this. Let me see if I can find the clean video section. There it is. Video feed, clean feed off. There we go. I don't know why. There it goes. And I have focus peaking on here, or not focus peaking. Let me get out of here. And there we go. So, oh, and it's not clean now. Didn't save my settings. Oh no, this is a different app. I apologize. This is my Filmic Pro app. Let's close that. Yes, I have lots of apps on my phone. Way too many. Okay, it's back. It's not showing you what I see here. That's weird. I wonder. Not a LUT. So anyway, so I don't know what is going on with this app right now since I updated it. So it's got something on by default. Trying to figure out how to turn this off. Weird. Yeah, so buggy for me right now for whatever reason. But again, using the camera app, again, I hadn't even tried it. That was the first time I opened it up. Something's on and I've got to figure out how to turn it off. I don't want to waste the live stream doing that, but you can see that if you have the ability to add hard drives to it, have a monitor, put a small rig on it, you've already purchased a very expensive device. Like I said, it's going to be over $1,200, I believe, to buy the Max, $1,100 to buy the iPhone 17 Pro. So you already have the camera with 3 lenses on it. They've improved the camera, and we might talk about that more once I get the iPhone. But I'm really intrigued, again, by this device and what it's capable of doing, and the fact that you could now create a rig and use the camera app and all the features that are available in it. And there's so many features, takes you a while to learn it. There's things you can turn off and on in the settings. And because of that, it is quite a journey to be using that. So will I buy the dock, which is what I'm calling it? I possibly might, if I think it's a valuable tool for some of my clients to use their phones live streaming. That way they could hook up hard drives to it. They could have a bigger monitor. Obviously, the screens on the phones are good. These are nice little monitors. And you can see what it looks like right here. So you're able to use it while you're shooting from these cameras. So iPhones obviously already have a screen built in. But if you needed a bigger monitor, if you're doing multiple cameras at the same time, then it could be a very valuable device. So again, let's look at our poll. As of right now, 70% of you say that the Blackmagic's pursuit of devices to help iPhones become more of a video production tool. 70% of you think it's a viable thing for Blackmagic to be doing. 30% of you now, out of 10 votes, say it's not, in your opinion, a viable option. Now, again, it costs money. As you well know, everything that Blackmagic designed does cost money. Let's go back here. And it's, as of right now, United States, probably because of tariffs from Australia, $325. So you have to decide if replacing these type adapters is worth that to add USB-C support, have 2 hard drives hooked up to it to be able to rig it, to be able to have time code, gen lock, all of that available to you, then that's something that you will have to decide. So let's go like this. Me and the laptop, I'm going to change what's in this box. If I can get my mouse to work. Turn the logo off. Let me drop this in. And then box 2, I want to go to my media player 1. So there is a picture of the front. Let me drop these different views in here. Here is another angle. I don't know what's going on here. Why is it duplicated? That is crazy. Is this duplicated as well? No, but I have a key on. Seriously. Media player 1. I have no keys on, no crop on. I guess I can do it that way. I'm not sure what's happening in my media player. Let me drop my still image up there. It is covering the screen. Interesting. Let's go back to box 2 and media player. Let's drop this in. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is cropped. It makes no sense at all. So let's go full screen. And I'm going to turn the cameras off. So that's one area. That's the adapter, the USB-C adapter from that angle. Here is another angle. Again, these are the high-res pictures. I don't know what's going on with my super source right now. It's like there is a crop key on. Here's the high-res front photograph, and here is that rig photograph, and another angle if you'd like to see all the different angles that are available on that device, and turn me back on. So it seems to be well built. There is a video in the link from IBC where one of the live streamers was over there. One of the major video photography networks did some videos. I linked those in the description. So you can take a look at that tonight and take a look at the device as they talk about it, answer questions about it. But I'm curious, as Blackmagic Design goes down some of these trails, if they're rabbit trails. The media player 10G, as far as I know, it was announced last year at NAB, so it's over a year and a half now. I don't think it's even been released yet. It is a Thunderbolt device. But again, occasionally they'll make these big announcements and it looks like a really good tool, but then they don't ever come out with it. And I even think it's still in their product list from Blackmagic Design. So let's see here. Studio converter. Yeah, media player, 10G. I have lots of hits of my video here. I don't think this is even available to purchase yet. I think there's still a waiting list for whatever reason, and I don't understand why Blackmagic Design would make those announcements and then not come out with those devices. So let's see. I think some people are trying to help me figure out what was going on with my ATEM. B-roll mostly. Grish has recorded video with his iPhone. Good to see you, TVJ. iPhones are limiting if you are trying to do live video as a part of a larger production. Yeah, now that there's ability to edit in Davinci Resolve, ProRes RAW, we'll see if that helps to streamline the new update on the camera app. We'll see if that streamlines video production. Syncing clips, which is available on the new camera app, Jay. We'll see if that helps some of the video production. But for me, I would vote yes tonight. I do think it's a viable pursuit for Blackmagic as long as they don't spend too much money on it. They do. They have the cloud. They've created the ability to sync iPhone footage with the camera app. They came out with the free camera app. It's now available for iOS and Android, even though people are saying they're both a little buggy at times. Now you have this new dock so that you can use monitors and hard drives. You can do gen lock and time code. I think that's some good options. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But I would be voting tonight. Yes, we have 67 say yes, and we have exactly 33 saying no, 12 votes. It's not a big group of people, but you have false color turned on. Yeah, that's what it is. Not focus peaking, false color. And that's causing you to see all the different. Yeah, I knew it was, I couldn't remember it was called false color, but I knew it was on. I just couldn't find where to turn it off. Good evening, iEdit Projects. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you in the live stream. David says, click on the camera icon, then the top icon, then the wave icon, and it will turn off false color. Well, it's not even, it's weird. It's not even on now, but when I plugged it in and brought it on the air, it was. So let me turn chat off here real quick. Cut back to, yeah, so it is not on here. And I turned clean HDMI out on. Watch what happens when I change over to camera one. It's on the dirty display, and I'm not really sure why it would be on the dirty, the display when it's not on the camera itself. False color isn't lit up itself. So again, it's above me, but thank you, David, for trying to help me out. I appreciate that. So I'm just going to unplug this from my iPhone so it doesn't run it dead. So thank you for that. The Ursa Mini 4.6K was my very first camera years ago. Again, this is chat on the air. This is iEdit Projects. Blackmagic is hoping to gain new users that quickly outgrow playing with the app. So yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. They're trying to get new people. They're trying to pursue new people. So they're not just pursuing the iPhone, but think about it. If they can get in as a part of the advertisement with the iPhone and people start linking up the new dock and talking about it with the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max release, then it makes a lot of sense that they're going to be able to add extra users, extra people using the cloud. And I could totally agree that that would make lots of sense. Okay. So before we talk about my Nashville trip, I want to just talk about a still image that I put in my intro video, because I felt like this week has been, and I'm sure part of the reason you're watching the live stream is that you enjoy conversations about tech and you enjoy the chat. You guys are watching it later. I appreciate that as well. But I just want to make sure that everybody understands where I'm at in this. I posted this in my intro video, and I just wanted to read what I wrote here, my thoughts about Charlie Kirk. I'm a live streamer, and if you are on social media, you would be hard-pressed to not see a video pop up about Charlie Kirk, especially this last week. Up to the last week, it would be a short conversation with a student or someone who wanted to engage in a conversation about some of the most passion-filled issues of our times, from guest interviews with online news personalities, influencers, or someone with passionate political views. I was impacted by his passion and willingness to get out and talk with people about anything they wanted to engage with him or engage him in. He challenged me in my apathy and made me want to work harder for my country. Shannon and I are praying for our nation and for Charlie's family. We are praying for our country and the world for some sort of solution to the hate and violence. May the peace of God reign in our hearts and our lives. My love, may love become our bond in the days to come. Maybe we be able to dialogue together about all our hopes and all our fears. I did not want to jump on tonight live and not acknowledge that both here in the United States and around the world, people are reacting to the news this week, not just the news that we heard this week, but news the week before. And this is not a political podcast. Those aren't things that I normally want to talk about. I would much rather be talking about the fact that Mountain Dew was invented in Tennessee. And I'm a big Mountain Dew fan, even though it's probably not my primary drink. I'm a Coke Zero person, but I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I was praying for your country, our country here in the United States. I know some of you are from the UK and other places. I have clients from around the world, and I know that I have a voice because you guys listen to me on my channel. You might be watching this video. And so my feeling is I want to see us as a nation here in the United States, as well as around the world. I want us to find a path of peace and the ability to have conversations. And even tonight's poll, I'll transition. I proposed the question, do you think an iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit as a viable video production tool? I'm fully aware, as well as me, I have friends that use their iPhone as their primary production tool. And that is, they would 100% agree if they were live tonight or they were in the chat. And then there are people tonight that think that Blackmagic pursuing this is not a valuable pursuit. Now, I know that topic is different than some of the topics that we've heard this week in the media and in the news, as well as at IBC. I'm sure people in Amsterdam were having conversations during lunch, and they were having this big event this weekend right after all the crazy things that happened here in the United States. So I just wanted to go on record that my heart goes out to Erica and her 2 children, as well as all of the people that have been touched or impacted in any way by these things that have been going on, not only in the United States, but around the world. And I want to see peace, and I want to see conversations, and I want to see us find some kind of path of love. Well, with that said, and you're welcome to comment on that. I just don't want to, I'm not inviting a debate about what happened. I've made it very clear that my heart's broken and my prayers are going up to not only the United States, but all the countries in the world. and that God would find some way of leading us in a path of peace and love for our fellow man, and not mentioning man as a gender, but all creation, because I believe that everybody should have value, and we should honor and prefer each other as much as we can. And again, this channel is about helping people, and so I just wanted to make sure that you didn't think that I was not touched or not moved, or that I don't ever feel impressed that I should say something. I wanted to just let you guys know where I stood, and I am praying and believing for our world to be a better place, and that's my hope. And one voice is no longer going to be heard as far as anything new, and it's happened thousands of times in the last few years around the world, and it's tragic when we can't have civil discourse. And so hopefully you don't get mad at me for agreeing that the iPhone is a viable tool. I try to stay as neutral as I can here on my channel and present to you guys all of these options, even sometimes when I produce videos and talk about a device like this device and it never becomes available. I do think there are some great tools on the Blackmagic site and available for us to purchase, and yet I don't use them all. Or do I think every tool is something that has value to me? And so I just wanted to say that. Now this, I was able to, let me just look at the chat here real quick. David says, I was so sad about Charlie. Violence is never the answer. I edit. I appreciate that. If you guys want to put something to chat, the chat replays with the video, and I'm sure people will watch this, and your opinions has value to me. And so please, if you would like to make any kind of comment, here's your opportunity. I edit before that says, check your display output settings on cinema cameras. You can route different things to specific outputs. Yeah, and again, I haven't been using the camera app for quite a while, and I just updated it to the most recent 3.0, so I probably need to go in there and play with the settings. I like to do that stuff live. I know sometimes it paints me into a corner, but I'd rather rock and roll with it while you guys are watching than get everything dialed in perfectly before we go live. It's not laziness or apathy, it's just that I think you guys like to see me have to struggle with things, because you do in the real world, and keep a positive attitude about it. So anyway, I will dive into the camera app, and I'm continuing doing research. I may be getting the dock just so I have it in my kit, especially as I go out to teach and train local clients. Sometimes I have an install here locally. Sometimes I travel to do live streaming installs, and I have lots of consulting clients from again, around the world. I've had clients in Canada. I've had clients in Ireland. I've had clients in Florida. I've had clients in, I believe, the states, Kentucky, New York City, Washington, Oregon. I have clients around the corner. So it's amazing the journey I've been on. So Shannon and I went to Nashville, first time ever. It is 5:15, and I want to get into conversation about the trip. I've been trying to bring some kind of souvenir back with me. So I got hats on my cruise at all 3 ports when we went on our Caribbean cruise. So I have 3 hats that I wear all the time now. I have my favorite hat, but I wear all 3. And so, because we went to 3 ports back in our vacation, but we just got back from Nashville. So I got the railroad cup holder. So these are designed to go on the desk, and this is etched in wood. I talked about this one last week. I think if I put it above my face, you guys can see that. My camera will see it. Come on, camera. Focus on this. Yep. So, and I did a railroad video last week, but now I want to talk about the trolley ride through Nashville. And it is about 10 or 11 minutes. And so if you're not interested at all, the trolley ride through Nashville, then you can end tonight's live stream on your end, and I'll see you in live streams in the future. But I just thought it would be really fun. We had been talking about our bucket list, and Nashville, Tennessee was one of the things on our bucket list. My adopted kind of older brother, Rob Sylvie, who lives in Chattanooga now, hosted us. We stayed at their house for 2.5 days, and then we got a rental car and drove to Nashville, Tennessee from Chattanooga. Actually spent a few minutes in Georgia on the highway on the way to Nashville. You've heard the news about Memphis. We had talked about driving over to Memphis. We chose to just go to Nashville. We didn't have enough time to go to Memphis, Tennessee. I had no clue that there's lots of issues and lots of things happening in Tennessee, enough for the government to decide to send help there. But Nashville, Tennessee is one of the hotbeds of music. Elvis, obviously, lots of cool music came out of Nashville, especially on the R&B Nashville side. You know, really great artists came out of Memphis. A lot of great, Memphis R&B and lots of great music. And then obviously Nashville for country music. And it's not only a country genre town. There's all kinds of music coming out of Nashville, but it's well known for country music. So I wanted to see downtown. I wanted to see some of the culture in Nashville. So Shannon and I went on a Tennessee boat ride. That video footage isn't in tonight. I'm going to bring that boat ride footage, and there's just a couple clips of us going down into downtown on the riverfront that I would like to show you guys in weeks to come, because I didn't want this video to be any longer. So I'm going to push the button. I'm going to be on the screen as we take this trolley ride through Nashville. Then I get off the trolley and we go into the museum. Here are my tickets, one for Shannon, one for me. I forget what we paid, but I'm old enough and Shannon's old enough. We had 2 senior tickets, and I had a great time in the museum. And then also we went to a wax museum in another part of town, and we'll talk more about that wax museum in the weeks to come, but had some really cool wax figures there, all from the music industry, primarily Elvis, Luke Bryant, Carrie Underwood, lots of people, Adele, Michael Jackson. I took a picture with a number of these wax figures. My wife took pictures. I had a few of those pictures in my still image tonight. So I'll just pop one of those up here real quick. You might recognize that guy. I thought that was a great picture. You might also recognize that gal. And so even some nostalgia about WSM, Nashville Radio. Here is a display at the Wax Museum that I was able to take this shot. So it was a lot of fun. The waterfront in Nashville on the Tennessee River. This was just a great experience. And you might recognize me on this bike next to another artist. And these statues were, wax figures were the best I'd ever seen. And I've had the privilege of going into some wax museums in the past. So I had an absolute blast. So I have my Nashville coaster souvenir, and I have my tickets that I'm going to keep here on the shelf. And if you remember, if you're here last week or you want to go back and watch last week's video where we were on that train with Rob and Sally, Shannon and I, we have our tickets that are stamped from the train ride that we did in Chattanooga. So lots of history in both Nashville and Chattanooga. And this is the video of Shannon and I riding the trolley through Nashville. Now, I edited out a lot of it just so we could keep it short, but you're going to get a chance to see some of the really cool sights in and around downtown Nashville. And hopefully I won't get flagged from any of the music playing really quietly in the background. So let's do this. I think this will make it run. Just saw a typo. So this is kind of a single-decker trolley, but we are kind of going right out of downtown now. This is a side street, and we end up here at the end of the night.
First floor was for eating and drinking.
That's the riverfront there. We rode the trolley out on the waterfront. You'll see that in a future one, but there's the stadium.
Really good time.
And there's a new one going on behind it.
If you look over to your right, across the river here, this is our Nissan Stadium, built back in 1999. It has forever since been the home of the Tennessee Titans. And if you look real closely, behind it is the makings of our new Nissan Stadium. This one's going to have a dome. And this settlement right here, this is for Nashville Road. This is where Nashville got started.
That's Nashville early.
Okay, so don't know if you see it right now, but you see this arch that says Perkins Alley? You got a lot of trees in front of it. But as I cross this walkway, look in either direction, left or right, right about now, left or right.
Dinner Alley, a famous side street.
Pretty cool, Mom. You're pretty cool. Thank you.
Ryman Auditorium. There's one of the venues playing live music. Lots of these venues downtown play live music all day long and into the evening. This is the famous downtown street where all the honky tonks are.
As we round this corner, if you look over to your right side, you'll see a wall painting called Legends of Europe. This is the image all of Nashville's stars, moving old, sitting around.
This is the old Grand Opry, just off Main Street. They have a new facility now. I don't know how they parked.
Also, if you're feeling a little peckish, you're right about now. If you look over to your left,
There's a plaque. There's the building again. There's some more side streets as the trolley goes to 7 different stops. Some of the downtown like main buildings. Here's one of the museums.
Now, I am not a big fan of museums. However, this one it's fun. It is trippy. Some pretty awesome dessert
This
places.
is an outdoor market that
There's
is
a
one of the
place called
stops.
Cookie Beard. Imagine a chocolate chip cookie the size of my hand with a glob of marshmallow in the middle of it and then sprinkled with Oreo cookie crumble.
We stayed on the trolley for the whole tour and then got off at the museum. Now this is the developed area.
They're to jingle to the tunes every hour and a half hour.
City
Waltz. Here's
section.
a sample right now.
Turning this down not to get flagged from any of the music, but you can see this is the library, state library, and it is amazing facility.
Trees, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. Our scoreboard is in fact shaped like a guitar. Welcome to Music City.
Wow.
Pretty classy for a candy shop. In there, that direction.
This building has indoor shopping. We did
Now,
something
ladies and
new.
gentlemen,
Look at the
full
nostalgia
candor.
buildings.
It is 11:52. I gotta book it at 12.
Now
So,
the trolley shuts down before
uh,
the evening
I
rush
understand if
downtown, but it
anybody want to
doesn't
give a
shut
gander
down.
which one that was? I'll give you a clue. You're looking at it.
This
Here
is
in,
pretty amazing.
Tennessee, rains all the time. We're actually a couple inches of rainwater shy of being considered as a rainforest.
Feel like you've gone back into Greek culture.
So I thought that was interesting. Our Parthenon also has an Athena.
I think he said it was
She
originally
was
made of
commissioned
wood
by the
and then
city
later
to a
made out
sculptor
of
named
concrete.
Alan McGuire.
The difference between that building and
built
the
her,
one
He built her as 42 feet tall, gilded in 24 karat gold, and complete with her signature staff and her owl, Nike, the goddess of shoes.
Didn't want to interrupt this commentator.
So,
We didn't stop here either, but you could have got off.
well, he jumps the girl, takes the recipe, and starts doing
Head
business.
down one of the
Like I said,
record
let's go.
label streets.
Now, this next part, I like to thank Carmen had a little bit of help in staying on the tour. And finally, our last tour for today, the first one from Marathon Village at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Please be sure to plan accordingly. For that, there will be no other trolley tours after that time.
This is a famous street. You're going to even see here shortly where Prince recorded. This is a long street. Lots of businesses, record companies, labels are working in these houses on both sides of the street.
Call of Duty, Halo, Fortnite, all the sports games. And also, they do soundtracks for movies such as Oh Brother or Art Thou.
Music for videos. This is the college, Belmont University, and there's also a museum that my wife wanted to go through. You're going to see some footage outside of the museum here in a minute. It's built right on the campus. Campus came in after, obviously, the estate,
But if you don't want to hop off there,
and the mansion was
you
built.
can clearly see the mansion from the stop. It's going to be to your forward right. Alright, here we go. This is our
So there it is in the
stop.
distance, and here is Belmont Mansion. Quite cool going on a tour inside of this. Now the grounds used to be acres, now there's a college built around it. It's a museum now, completely being restored. Part of the history of Nashville, Tennessee. Love the columns, love the architecture.
By Willie Nelson, by the way. On the left, this old building with a guitar-shaped pool behind that fence. It's called the Wade Pierce Pool. It is type of architecture called Brutalist. It's post-World War II, and it is Spence Manor, where Elvis stayed when he was working at Studio B. It's also where Ray Charles stayed, the Eagles stayed, and Sinatra stayed. Old Blue Eyes. Up here on our front left are the 9 muses in Greek mythology. Now a little bit of an ancient music fact for you. The muses were introduced around 8th century BC, right? But back then the word musica, which they're named after, it was not music like we know today. It was a term for all of the arts. Here it is. It's Prince, dude. Yeah. Love Prince,
Prince's
man. It's great.
studio.
Casey Boots, they made boots for John Wayne and still make boots for the Dallas Cowgirls. And Station Inn opens up tonight. Well, bluegrass is Celtic music. Celtic music is bluegrass. Right? Some of them are rotating conveyor about 100 head.
We're in the suburbs.
Yeah, imagine
now,
playing an
coming
instrument with
back.
that. Swear. Anyway, that's what I do. I go up the trolley sometimes, like when I'm going to Broadway.
Museum.
Because I do.
Country Music Hall of Fame, where I had my tickets, and we're going to go inside and just show you. I thought this guitar display was crazy. Cool. Loved it. You could buy those guitars right off the shelf. This was outside. Here's just one of the displays. You'll recognize this hat and this dress. I like some of the older country history that was in there. Lots of dress outfits. There's one of Elvis's favorite or famous vehicles on display there. There was 2 of his vehicles there. And then here's downtown Nashville. Nightlife just starting early, late afternoon. Shannon and I in Nashville. Love this mural. Here's a still image from the video. Well, that's it. That's the video from Nashville. Again, I have my souvenir, my tickets, and again, my take on Nashville is that I think I enjoyed Chattanooga a little bit better than Nashville. Maybe it was the pace, I didn't stay downtown for nightlife. Chad and I are flying out the next day, and we just wanted to go do the tour, see the city, go to the museum. We went to the mansion. That was her big thing. I wanted to go to the museum. We wanted to ride the trolley together so we could just get the tour. And the tour was okay. It wasn't cheap to get on the trolley. You could stop at 7 different locations, get back on the trolley. The downtown trolley and 3, I think, of the drop-off points were shut down after 4 o'clock in the evening. And so you could go to the other drop-off locations, but the trolley, the traffic's so bad downtown, the trolley doesn't get to go downtown for the nightlife. So we went downtown, walked around for a while, and ate some chicken. We wanted to have barbecued chicken in Nashville because that's what Tennessee is known for, their chicken. So we had chicken. We got a chance to see some of the sites. We did a little shopping. We had some ice cream. We had a really good time in Nashville. But I think if I was to choose, I think I like the old culture, moon pies, Mountain Dew, obviously, is Tennessee. It's not either Chattanooga. Now there is a story that it being bottled the very first time in Chattanooga. I don't know if that's true or not, but Mountain Dew was a Tennessee drink. That's my story, and I'm sticking to my Nashville trip. So I don't see any chat or chatter. Obviously, I appreciate you guys tolerating me, sharing a little bit about my vacation story. We will have lots more to talk about here on the channel in the weeks to come. If you've been to Nashville, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If you like Nashville, if you're into country music, it's a great place to kind of go and look at country music history. And again, if you spent 2 or 3 days in Nashville, you could go tour a lot of those places. You can tour the Grand Ole Opry. I would have gone to the Grand Ole Opry, but it wasn't having a concert that night. We did do, like I said, we went on the first night we were there. We went on the riverboat, which was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed the riverboat. We had a riverboat dinner. There was a live performance, and that was pretty amazing. But our tour on the trolley tour was just a afternoon for about 4 hours, and we got a chance to see the museum. We got a chance to see the culture. Got to see some of the artists playing down there. That was really cool. Music sounded amazing. There really wasn't any bad music coming out of downtown. So it's cool to see all those performers have venues to play in. So, man, if you want to be a performer and get paid, Nashville is a great place to go because there was hundreds of people playing. And obviously, the big artists aren't down there playing. They own bars down there. They own venues, honky tonks down there. And so that was really cool. We got a chance to see Jelly Rolls, not casino, but a venue down there. Blake Shelton's venue down there. Luke Bryan has a venue down there. It's pretty cool. We didn't stay for the evening time, but we had a good time in Nashville. So, okay. So last but not least, we're getting ready to do a Zoom town hall gathering. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please let me know in the comments below. You can also go on my channel. If you already have my email, let me know that you want to be involved in that town hall. What is it? If you've never joined one before, it's simply a Zoom gathering where you get to be on the screen with everybody else that shows up that night. It's free. It's 1 hour. I do it after a 1 hour live stream. We're going to do that. It looks like in 2 weeks from tonight. So in 2 weeks, we'll have a short 1 hour live stream. And then after that, after about a 5-10 minute break, we'll be on the Zoom call together. So if you'd like to join that, go to my contact page. I'll put this link in the chat. Again here, go to this page if you've never filled it out before. Also, it's the same place that you would go to request a free 1-hour Zoom consult with me. So if you need help with your live streaming tech, or you have questions, or you're stuck with your studio or podcasting, you're having audio issues, you need to know a little bit more about what be the right tools for you in your studio. Maybe you're getting ready to create a studio or redesign your studio. You can get 1 hour free with me, and I would love to spend that time and have a conversation with you. This Zoom town hall is free for anybody that wants to attend. It's not live, even though we'll be live together on a Zoom call, but I don't record it. I don't broadcast it on the live stream. It's just us. And I love to have people that are on my channel with me week after week to get a chance to meet other people. And I'm working on trying to have a new client of mine give us a tour of his new studio. So we'll see if that works out. I like to showcase that the hour before the Zoom call. So we will be hopefully being able to see a new studio as it's being built and talk about that design, and then have that guest on the Zoom call. So that will be a lot of fun, as well as we get to see what you're doing, what's new in your world. And so maybe you want to show me your souvenir from Nashville or your tickets. And I love to see what's going on in your world and your life, and not just be talking to YouTube and having you chat. So I look forward to being face-to-face with you in 2 weeks. So just let me know in the chat tonight, or let me know in an email if you have my cell, a text. And if you don't have my email, go ahead and fill out this form again right here and put in it that you want to join the town hall Zoom meeting. I need your name. I need your email so I can send you an invite. And then you need to say in the notes that you're asking for a free 1 hour consult. If you've never had one, there's one per person in a family. So if there was a husband and wife doing 2 separate podcasts, 2 separate live streams, I would do an hour with each of them, or 2 hours together, whichever they prefer. But if you've never taken advantage of that 1 hour Zoom call from my studio, then please take advantage of that. Make sure you put in the notes that you're looking for a free 1 hour consult, and any information you want me to know about your studio or your questions. And then if you want to join the Zoom town hall meeting, just write in there your email, your first and last name. You want to give me your channel name so I can go check out your channel. If you have one, I would love to, or your podcast. I'd love to go listen to your podcast and have some context. But you can just put down below town hall or Zoom gathering. Either one, I'll know that you want to get that invite, and that will be sent out in 2 weeks. And some final ones will be sent out during the live stream, because there's always people that want to join the last minute on that live stream. So, okay. Chat on the air. Tony says, Nashville, Memphis is on my bucket list. The historic aspect reminds me of a lot of Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, there's a lot of history. It's really cool, Tony, to get to go see some of these towns. I want to go to Memphis. The next time we go to Chattanooga to visit Rob and Sally, we want to go to Memphis and see Graceland and see some of the culture there. I'd love to go to Dolly World. I'd love to see some of the other things in that part of the area. I'd like to go on some more train rides, some nostalgic train rides, which are really cool in the Tennessee area. And then the paddle boats are amazing as well, if you want to experience some of that old school culture. And the fact that they have complete banquet halls with stages inside these paddle boats, that was really, really cool. Well, that's it. That's all I have tonight. We're going to end early. It's been a great live stream. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I got a chance to say hi to everybody in the chat. I don't think I missed any comments or questions that you guys have. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't already, we're approaching 4,000 subscribers. Hopefully that will happen before Thanksgiving this year. Crossing my fingers. Thank you for liking this video and other videos here on my channel. I do plan on cleaning up the Nashville tour, as well as my Chattanooga train ride video, and posting those here on my channel. I don't know if anybody will watch them, but there'll be 2 more videos up on my channel. I don't normally monetize those. I just let them be up on the channel and have to clean those up and make sure the audio sounds better than what you guys heard tonight. A lot of noise, trolley noise, background noise as we were touring Nashville. So again, if you have any questions or other products that you're excited about, don't forget, there's a lot of new videos out there on social media from IBC 2025. That is a big event in Amsterdam. So go check out the videos. Check out the videos I put in the link tonight. And again, thank you for taking that moment tonight to acknowledge our concerns and our prayer and our hope for peace and more brotherly, sisterly love in our nation here in the United States, as well as all of our friends around the world. We're all on this blue globe together. And, you know, I think I learned in kindergarten, hold hands, look both ways, and cross the street. So I've been holding hands and looking both ways and crossing the street with people for as long as I can remember. So thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your country. And I pray for a better week for all of us. I will see you guys live next Tuesday, and hopefully I'll get back to work and get some videos uploaded here. And I'll let you know if I decide to go ahead and order the Rodecaster video. I'm very close to making that decision so that I can learn it and do some training on it and produce some videos here on the channel and even live stream live from that product and tell you what I think about it. Okay, last thing here. Thanks, Keith. Have a great week. Yeah, Tony, thank you as well. Thank you for each one of you guys who are still with me live tonight. And I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation about Blackmagic's announcement. Again, ProRes, Davinci Resolve, a new device that works with the new iPhone 17 Max, 17 Pro Max, 17 Pro, and some new features built into that device. We'll see if video production grows with smartphones more and more as the years and months come. Who knows? We'll just see. We have to walk through the future together, and we'll see how valuable this is. Let's finish this poll. 15 votes, 67% of you say, yes, I think the iPhone is worth Blackmagic's pursuit as a viable video production tool. And 33% of you said, I don't think Blackmagic Pursuit is a viable video production tool using iPhones. So great. Thank you. We're going to end the poll, but I appreciate your help finding out where you stand. And that's always great information. If there's anything left you want to put in the chat, please do so. The chat will be available as I roll the outro video. And again, I am Keith. This is Life Journey Production Studios. Thank you so much for being with me tonight, and have a great week. Peace.